All right, we are live. Well, live to being recorded. No one's actually watching this live because I'm not handing out this link. Hi, for anyone watching this in the hindsight of the future, this is a Gauntlet Hangouts game. This game is arranged through the Gauntlet, which is a community on the internet that gets together and plays, cool tabletop role-playing games, story games, indie games, Power for the Apocalypse, Forge in the Dark, GMS games, all that fun stuff. Find them at gauntlet-rpg.com. You'll find all sorts of stuff. They have a monthly zine with like supplements and original games. They have recently opened forums, and they have a podcast network and the Hangouts calendar through which this game is arranged. This is session 2 of Mutants in the Night by DC at Dungeon Commander. No E on Commander, one word. This is a Forged in the Dark game about mutants, people with strange fantastical powers, forced to band together in a community as part of a forced community, thanks because of a world that doesn't really like them, to put it mildly. Before we jump into like what happened to everything and whatnot, yeah, hates and fears. That's a familiar slogan. Before we jump into that, let's kind of meet our players first because sadly we do not have Fred anymore, but we have someone new. But I'm gonna start by the reverse order on my screen here. I will start with Will. Just say your name and pronouns, and you want to shout out, that's fine. Is it? Darn. Hold on. Sorry, my mic is apparently fluctuating. That might be me moving. No, I'm not really moving. Hold on. Hello? Hello? Hello, darn you, Zoom recorder. Why are you failing me right now? But yeah, well, if it was Will, would you kindly introduce yourself?
Cool. Well, my name's Will, he, him. My character is Thinner, who is a real name Harrison Blake, who is the World Breaker. So basically, the strong man, the juggernaut, the superhuman strength, and he is a very thin and gaunt-looking guy who can bring down a building around him and shrug off damage and so forth. Yeah, that is him.
Cool. Now, hopefully, you better not start breaking down. You're an expensive piece of thing, you recorder. Pavel, would you kindly introduce yourself?
Hello, I'm Pavel. I use he, him pronoun, and today I'm playing Mist. Her real name is Cherish Jones. She is prestige class, which means she's sort of illusionist. She can project illusions of herself straight into people's mind, and also she's like very. Oh my god, what was this movie name when they were entering someone's mind?
Inception.
Yeah, she's very Inception girl. She looks quite as a mutant. She has like a very stone skin with like a white hair. For the players, if you go to the image board, you can find her photo. She used to be a performer. She was like a stage magician doing shows, but when she mutated, she had to come to this. What was the name of this mutant safe zone? Yeah, she had to come and live in this mutant safe zone, and yeah, she since that moment she's here.
Safe. Yeah, well, safe is a relative term in this world. And finally, joining us for today and for the rest of the series, hopefully, Ludo, introduce yourself and who are we meeting today?
So I'm Ludo. I go by any pronouns, and I'll be playing Jessie Park, also known by the alias Hyperreal. She's androgynous, wears dark, somber clothes, heavy makeup to compensate for her pale skin. It's like so pale that it's pretty much translucent. And if she gets the light directly, you can kind of see the organs and bones within. So there is a reason why she prefers the darkness and her heavy drab clothes. And she's a street racer but legally she is a future Uber driver, and she is a shopper. So, as an imp, as a mutant empowered, she is capable to manipulate memories. Uh, a power that comes quite useful when you're fighting for the mutant liberation.
Nice. I have some more questions for Hyperreal in a bit, but first let's talk about safety. Because it's always necessary to have this conversation just so people are aware, so that people can make sure we're all playing in a comfortable environment. Aim is to, enjoy ourselves, enjoy our company, and enjoy each other's company, and enjoy playing together. So we have lines and veils. I'll direct my players to the character keeper tab there. So basically, lines are things that won't be crossed, like it won't show up in fiction. Veils are things that can happen in fiction, but we're not going to concentrate on it. Like we'll just throw a veil over it, skip over it, and it can happen. It can happen, but again, we're not going to focus the camera on it, so to speak. We also have the X card, just basically if we do roll into a scene where people feel uncomfortable. It could happen, especially given the subject matter of this game. People can play the X card, which is they can say they want to X card a element on the scene. They can just say they want to X card that, or they can make the symbol, or in the chat, or in the roll for a party. I might ask some questions of what's being X carded, but no one gets to question why. It's played, it's played, and then we will work together to roll back and start somewhere else. So sorry, I'm fiddling with dice over there. That was a 2. Oops. And finally, we have an open door policy here on the table. Basically, if for whatever reason people need to step away, take a break, or there's an emergency, could be, take a break. There might be an emergency, they need to go, or you just need to break right now, or even just need to leave 5 minutes. People can call that at any time. Again, I'll get this question why. If you need to move, if you need to step away for a bit or for the rest of the day, that's perfectly fine. All right. So let's go back to Hyperreal for a bit. I want to know about your friends and rivals, and also let's start with those, and then I want to ask how you know these two vagabonds. You want to go through, your friends and rivals first, so I can make some notes.
So, my biggest rival is James, which was to be an old childhood friend. And we got into street racing, and when we were growing up, we often worked together on cars and whatnot. But we had a falling out recently. Probably did not like much that I got involved with the owls and to join active mutant activism, because he felt that drew unnecessary attention to our already illegal activities. And they also are not a big fans of my newest friends with I have developed an actual more intimate relationship. One is Shanessa, which is used to date my sister before she moved out of Chicago. And Shanesha was able to pass as human, and she's living as an insider in actual Chicago. And she helps me keep in contact with whatever is happening outside world, to how my sister is doing. And she also helps channel some money from her sports career to the cause. And another is Luke, a human university student that wants to organize a group of human allies for the reevaluation of the United Nations declaration that condemned mutant kind. So far, their movement is having problems getting started, but he's still one of the few mutants humans that do not feel disparaged by the fight.
All right, cool. So, I think before I kind of like ask, I guess I should ask like how to the other two, how you know Hyperreal then. I think there's a commonality between them and Mist then with regards to the whole owl thing. For sure. And Thinner, you said you're also a university student. As well. So you probably know like people like Luke, humans will be like, yeah, organizing to do that sort of thing.
The interesting question is: did Mist ever came to Hyperreal to erase something from her memory?
Ooh. Does Hyperreal do that sort of thing?
Oh, right. Like, what's it called? That Jim Carrey movie, Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. You want to forget something, so you.
Yeah, maybe that worked. Maybe that's how they met in the first place.
But also, right, we're part of like we're mutants, right? And the owls are like a resistance thing, right? So maybe it's kind of like information security. You know, you can't tell what you don't know.
Yeah, and that's very interesting because maybe it was more than 5 minutes. So that causes the shopper also headaches and confusion and also messes with their memory. So I erased something that I know that I erased, but it's even to me it's clouded what happened.
It could be a mission that you were both on, maybe as owls. You know, like you did it, and then you afterwards it was like, well, we've done it, it's done, but we can't tell anyone about it if we don't remember that we did it.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
But there are probably folks out there who remember what you all did.
Oh yeah, like your cell leader,
Definitely.
right?
Yeah.
Your cell leader knows. Maybe Pavel's rider that we
rival.
rival,
yes, Pavel's
Aeon.
rival, Aeon.
Aeon. Yeah, he might remember that that there was a squad sent to do something, that there was big news. Then the squad came, but nobody ever said anything about this. So I think it would be like natural for at least for Mist to, once we separated and started being a team of, what was the name of this? Empowered.
Yeah, the empowered
EMPs. It would be only natural for Mist to like go seek Hyperreal and like try to. I'm not sure if Hyperreal was then through those and just like convince her to, hey, maybe when I come do it with us, like some.
Yeah, like you recruited her into the team, like
I'm one of the options.
Yeah, I would say that maybe Thinner knows Hyperreal through. Did I say that Thinner was a university student before he was sent to the MS, the safe zone? Is that what I said?
Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe the connection with me is Luke, the human university student. Like I know Luke. Luke also knows maybe my friend Malik, the protester, the activist, the human activist from outside. Like, so maybe we're connected by like our connections rather than, you know, I've heard of her, through my friends.
And maybe also Victoria is involved on the street racing scene.
Yeah.
And maybe we had problems at that because Victoria tried to get at you by manipulating races.
It could be. So the thing with Victoria is that she's always trying to get me to throw fights or to fight people for the no holds barred fights, which is not really Thinner's thing, right? It's just a way to make money. But But yeah, I like that we both also know Victoria, right? Because she handles bets for your street races, and she handles bets for my fights as well. I also said that Victoria was like a local, like a human who lives in the safe zone, who's kind of like a mob boss, like a connected basically in the sort of racket thing. Cool, I like that. I think Hyperreal fits right in, and we had the little conversation of like maybe even recently, we're a woman down, right? Slatina's gone, and like now is the time for we're asking like Hyperreal, like the heat zone. It'd be useful if we had someone who could help us cover our tracks.
Nice. I think this is a good segue to do a quick recap of what actually happened. Why there's 3 heat on y'all. So basically, the Littles came to y'all, to child whose name I forget. He gave her ice cream. I remember that. She came to y'all with like a request. No, that's the girl. That's the girl who you went to save. So basically, her friend Carolyn Fairchild is asking to basically be kidnapped because she somehow managed to manifest mutant powers quite recently. The problem is she was the child of the head of the mutant task force, so required a bit of subterfuge to try and get her out. Yeah, the other child can be Luna. I'm sure if I check the VOD, I said a completely different name, but her name's Luna now. Yeah, so that job went well. Mist ran into Aeon, who was there on a completely separate job. Slatina was basically there as a performer. Thinner beat up some mooks. For some reason, Carolyn was held behind this like steel door that's like a bank vault door.
You just did it now. You called her Carolyn.
Ooh, maybe. Well, let's see what. Yeah, the chat there's maybe saying Luna would be Carolyn's name. Let's see. We can talk to her, and you can talk to her about it later. But yeah, I think the job went well. You got Carolyn out. She was fairly. Oh, obviously she wanted to get out there. Oh yes. Okay. All right. Okay. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, it could be Luna. Okay. Yeah. So you got out. Aeon did manage to do what he was meant to do there, which was to assassinate the head of the mutant task force. So that did happen. How did you only get 3 heat? Oh yeah, because that wasn't your job to kill him. That just happened. You did help, actually. You did help when you got out there by the end. So there's a bit of heat there. I'm just gonna roll. I'm just gonna do a fortune roll. This is no, Mist did something to reduce heat, I think. So you got less heat, and I made a mistake counting up the heat anyway. So you only should have gotten 3 heat.
Question: Are we do we have clear rules on when the flare resets? Because that part we were unclear when the flare resets.
I was not clear on that as well.
That was one thing that's not in the book, I think.
Yeah,
it doesn't mention it. I would maybe like. I'd almost say possession, but it feels like it's too generous to say because Blades is normally quite harsh on strength and things.
Well, it feels that flare and the skills replace the gear, so it kind of feels like clears when you end the job, sort of like.
Okay.
But I'm not sure.
No, that makes sense. I mean, I can't think of any other way you do it than every session, right?
I mean, I've been handling by clearing it at the end of jobs.
Yeah.
Well, every time there is a downtime, I've cleared flare. But
yeah.
It's not exactly when you reset it.
Yeah, I'll say we just went through downtime. So everyone who did a thing, you can clear flare, Cox.
And you remember we had two consequences.
Yeah, well, look, the first one was because I made a mistake with toning off heat. We don't have to have that consequence.
I'm just reminding you that there are already 2 hanging over us.
I really
Okay.
like the I'd be happy with living with the consequences, even if you.
Okay. All right.
What
Okay.
was one consequence was we will face an enemy empowered, right?
Yeah.
I like that one, and I liked how it tied in with the Mutant Task Force Secret Black Ops group.
Yes.
I can't remember what the other consequence was.
You just get a -1 on your next engagement roll, which it'll just negate what you got for helping the littles.
Okay.
Um, because we only have that much time. So instead of having like 3 clocks per community, which means 3 jobs, just like if you finish a job for each faction in the community, you just get the thing you get when you
Okay.
finish a clock. So for
Cool.
the littles, it's an extra it's extra 1 dice on engagement roll. But because of the consequence of last time, the entanglement, that's just negated for now. All right. So before I want to see, like I said, ask for like a scene each of y'all, whatever y'all doing, even with each other is perfectly fine. Before that, I'm just roll this fortune roll, see how the community's doing. Okay, so I'm gonna start a clock. I'm not going to say anymore. Okay, so let's start with Hyperreal. Let's start with our new character with Jesse. Other things that are happening here is Mist is trying to start a puppet theater. It's not really working out at the moment. There's one step was done. Yeah, I think I mentioned here in the city tab that base operations is near the bar. It's a reclaimed community center. It's lots to folk about. But when the episode kind of starts, what do we see? What Jesse's doing, kind of like.
Uh, so we see a montage of Jessie on her car, silent as she's driving humans in and out of the MCZ, uh, because she is, working for future Uber. So it's probably Uber with an extra X somewhere. So we have all these humans that want to be cool and be involved and seem woke and down with the mutants. And basically, what they are doing is poverty tourism, and they she's one of the many drivers driving in and out, and we see the magic time of 9 p.m. ticking, and suddenly everyone is scaring, and she's driving her car back to her home, her tiny apartment near the bar, and she parks and she goes to the bar to have a drink to celebrate a day of barely making by.
I think for everyone here, you'll probably notice the bar is a bit tense because again, a prominent owl is kind of in prison at the moment because he killed the mutant task force leader, and so it's a bit of a sullen environment while you're there. Jesse, did you know Aeon that well? Do you think?
I don't think so.
Yeah, but I think all the other owls are kind of like it's almost like they've kind of given up on him. So some people are like clinking bottles of beers, like to Aeon. May he not be. May may his. Actually, no. I don't think they say that. I've been reading too many Game of Thrones recaps lately. Uh, they're just telling stories about him, and I think some of them kind of like motion to like, hey, do you want to join?
You seem to act like it's his funeral.
Look, where they got him? Let's see. Let's give this person a name. I think is her name is Allie, and I'm thinking she's got a big hoodie, and she's like, well, Hyperreal. Where they got him? That's basically death, isn't it?
Well, he is high profile enough that this can be a change. You can make a lot of noise. we can get some students, to actually make enough noise that they just cannot take him behind the back and put a bullet on his skull. They actually have to do a trial. Yes, it will be a mock trial. It will be a travesty, but will be visible. And that will get us time to do something actually useful.
I mean, that's one thing they could do. I mean, another thing they could do is they just put him in a hole for the rest of his life and just not even mention. Like, if you look at the newscasts, they're not even mentioning his name. They're just saying a mutant terrorist has killed Nathaniel Fairchild. That's all they're saying. They're not even saying his name.
We need to put his name out there. We need to get people making noise so that they cannot be ignored. Force the government to do something stupid.
I think another person who is surrounded by beer bottles and is like smashes his head. And it's like, that's no, Jesse. What you're saying there is that that's just gonna take too much time. That is it's too much. We need to get him out now. We need action, Jesse.
Well, Jesse leans on the bar, hair back turned. Well, I agree, but the thing is, he's probably being held on a black site somewhere. I don't know where to start. If we force people to put him in a jail or in a courtroom, then it's a place where we can go in and out. Do we even know where they can be?
I think the owls are kind of like murmuring to each other. I think it's kind of clear they've been here for a while. At least this group here, they're a bit. I think they weren't here to plan anything. They were just here to commiserate and be miserable. But I think they're looking at you as if like, okay, well, looks like you might have some sort of plan, and you might have to check up on them later to see if they can remember. All right, so we kind of leave you there for a moment. That's all right. These poor drunken fools. Mist, what do we kind of see of you? What are you doing at the moment?
I think we do. It's not a smash cut. It's like the camera like turns through the bar, and suddenly we see a different bar, like a human side bar, with probably like a cheap cafe, like future Starbucks or something like this. And we see Mist at the corner. It's obviously like before the police hour, and Mist is sitting there with Crystal, and Crystal is her Mutant Safe Zone security guard friend, and both of them are talking, and in the background we see like the TV in the bar is showing like maybe it's like, I'm not sure how much time has passed, but there's definitely like still news are saying that mutants assassinated this like head, and that the humans are so good for the mutants, and like media are like building this like hate, and maybe like some people like look around the bar and just like Miss just like hides in her like hoodie, not to be recognized even, because it could be dangerous for her to leave. And Miss like leans over to Crystal and says, "So now that all of this is going on, you have to tell me what is those above you going to do with the security zone? Are there some repercussions for the community at large? You know, a lot of the people in the zone had nothing to do with it. It was like an action of a man or an organization. What is going to happen next?
We'll die again. See how much Crystal knows. Oh dear lord. So that's a good roll. I think Crystal kind of leans forward and she says, "That's the creepiest thing. There's no orders for any reprisals at the moment. You think like something like this, there'd be like martial law on the safe zone. We'd be out in force. I wouldn't be here. That's because we'd be busy. You know, kicking down doors, intimidating folks. But us at least at the rank and file, we've not heard anything. And hold on, let me just check her name. You said you and Crystal knew each other before. Yeah. Check, and it's like, yeah, I'm worried, Cherish. So we're not hearing anything. That means they're planning something big.
Yeah, just what I wanted to say. It's like the quiet before the storm. Please do me a favor and keep your ear to the ground. Like, I know that some heads need to roll for this, but at least we have to somehow prepare the community, and it's the there are a lot of folks who could get wounded, and nobody needs an open war on the border. It will go bad for everyone. So please keep on ear to the ground, ask some questions, and let me know.
I will. I I will. It's just between you and me, this whole what happened. And I mean, you say it was just one man, but one man's actions, it's gonna reverberate in the community. Like doing something like that, it's. I'll try to watch out. I will. I only have this job because you're here. So, but no, I'll keep an eye out.
Yeah, I like move my hand across the table and put it on her hand, and it's hard to feel, but we see this like hand made of stone over her like soft skin. But we like close the hands, and I say, I know you are here because of me, and we are trying to keep the safe zone as safe as possible. I just hope nobody's planning a mad rescue operation, because that would be even worse. Uh,
Yeah. I think she kind of squeezes your hand as well. She's like, well, I'm really getting used to that. Yeah. No, I'd say the same. No, stay low for now. I know what you get up to, but given what just happened, it seems like is this the same bar that out of character? Is this the same bar? No, it's a different bar. Yeah, it's like, I mean, yeah, don't do anything risky. Just watch out for everyone. Okay, I can
I
only
will.
do so much.
I will. Take care. Take care. I better leave before some of the other residents of the bar notice me, because it might be difficult then. Bye, Crystal.
I'll see you soon, Cherish. Uh, all right, so that fortune roll moved up the clock a bit. It's a 6-step tick clock, so don't worry. And Thinner, what do we see of you?
I think that Thinner is. I changed his vice, by the way, to vibe in it. And basically, I think what he's doing is he's doing what his vice is, and he is checking in with the littles, the small folk, the little kids, and making sure that, seeing if anyone's harassing them, what's going on, checking in on maybe what happened to Luna, is she being looked after as part of them,
Yeah,
and seeing if they need anything,
yeah. I mean, mechanically, this isn't well, Yeah, this isn't.
No, this isn't mechanically that bad. I just thought
Yeah,
that, like,
you're just checking up on them.
checking in on that
Okay,
part of the
so
community.
yeah, they're at the arcade. Well, that's where kind of their base of operations, I guess. And I think the you don't you think you're kind of fairly well known, and I think someone shouts, "Hey, you're the guy with all the ice cream, right?"
Not today, friend, but maybe next time I can get you a scoop or so. We unfortunately had a bit of a run on the ice cream back at the bar.
Well, and I think this is actually the same girl who came up to you with the with the mission. Her name is
Okay.
yeah. For some reason, put on her name.
I
Her
see
name
you
is
said
Jelly. Oh, go
Jelly.
on.
What did you say her name was?
It was Jelly.
Jelly. Okay.
Short, yeah. Short for Angelica.
Okay.
We'll go through Jelly.
Jelly.
Yeah. I think yeah. She's just like, well, don't have any ice cream on you. What do you think you'll be able to do here?
Well, I was just coming down to see how everyone was doing. Is your little friend settled in nicely?
That depends on whether she's trying to think of a bribe for you, and but behind her, you can hear Carolyn's voice or Luna, just say, "Is that Harrison?"
And Harrison will gently, like, lean out one very long arm and just sort of push Jelly off to the side. Like, I hear the girl now. Thank you, Jelly. Be sure to pop round next week. Maybe we'll have some of that raspberry ripple you were looking for.
It, you better upgrade that from a maybe to a definitely.
Well, we'll see what our lords and masters over in the Mutant Task Force give us in rations this next week. Yeah.
I think when you said Mutant Task Force, Carolyn kind of winces
Yeah.
a bit.
And
To remind folks, Carolyn has she's a very cherubic looking girl. I think she has blonde hair, but I think her eyes are the freakiest part because her eyes look like they're portals into like galaxies. Like she has like a lot of stars in her eyes, literally.
Thinner will kneel down and you know the tall skeletal sort of frame bending down to this, like, what was she, 10, 11, 12 years old, something like that?
She's on 11.
Yeah, and kneel and look into those eyes and say, like, so what how are you finding things here in the zone?
Good. It's very good. No, very good. There's like they showed me like a working Miss Pac-Man machine. I didn't know games could be like that. Jelly's been really nice.
Well, good.
Bunch
There's
of
a Raspberry Ripple for you too if you come along.
I'm uh I'm more of a vanilla person, really.
Well, we have some of that already if you want to pop by later, but don't tell Jelly. There's not enough for everyone.
I said I like vanilla, and they were like, "Oh, you're so boring. Yeah, you're so boring, Carolyn." I was like, "But vanilla's just nice, isn't it?"
Vanilla is a strong foundation for all of our ice cream needs. Now, there was one thing I did actually want to ask you now, Caroline. What was it that you can do? Now, see, I am strong. My friend Slatina, she could be very loud and very quiet. And my friend Mist, now she can take a walk straight through your mind and make you see all kinds of things. But people were interested in you for a reason, and it wasn't just for those pretty eyes, I'm sure.
I think when you kind of say that, I mean, she's already is a bit fearful, but her demeanor kind of like she kind of holds herself a bit. It's like, well, Mister Blake Harrison, I wish I could tell you, but uh, there's this my dad brought me to see this scientist lady, and she only said that I can do wonderful things, but I don't know what they are. All I have are these eyes. I don't know what they're seeing in me.
Well, I knew when I looked at you, you could do wonderful things already. You got your whole life to do wonderful things, Caroline. And you know what? You just let me know if you ever have any trouble with anything, or if anyone comes asking around after you. And even if all you do is have those eyes, you've already done the most wonderful thing anyone could ever ask for. Okay?
Is my mom coming for me?
I don't think so, Caroline. I
Okay,
mean,
that's
do you want her to come for you?
no,
Then
no, I
no.
don't.
I Like I say, anyone comes asking, you come find us. Yeah. Uh, Now, while I'm at it, you wouldn't happen to know, catch the name of that lady scientist you were talking to?
I'm gonna disclaim again, because I don't know the mind of an 11-year-old. Oh come on, roll better. I'm gonna use a different dice. You poor things. Um, let's see. Let me look at your stuff. Um, Park, I think.
Park. And do you know where in the city you were?
I, I don't know. They they put me to sleep, and I woke up in a. It was a nice place. It was like a school, except I was the only student there.
Well, that does sound special. Now, one of a few members of the community here actually do a school of sorts every day. If you come down to the center, um, I hope I'll be seeing your face around there. It's important to keep up with your lessons, even though you're out here in the zone.
Well, if you'll be there, I guess it's not too bad.
Yes, I teach English from time to time, literary
Oh,
classics.
do you
Yeah.
do you can you tell me what a Shakespeare is?
Shakespeare was a very old Englishman who had a very good way with words, and he died something like 600 years ago or so, before people like you and me even existed.
Oh, I think she's disappointed that Shakespeare's a man instead of like a Shakespeare.
Yeah,
Shakespeare.
yeah, yeah. But he did write some wonderful things, and perhaps I could even tell you the story of Romeo and Juliet when you come down. Star-crossed lovers in a city torn between war and hatred, two families at war with each other. I think it has a lot to say about our present situation here.
I think yeah, her eyes widen, and it's weird, yeah, because again, stars. You can. Okay, here's another detail you notice when her eyes widen. The stars are moving.
Okay, cool. Um, yeah. So I think I'm good with the scene there. Unless there's anyone who's been harassing the littles, and I have to go kick the shit out of them. I'm all right.
No one's harassing the littles. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're grand for now. I think I want to kind of like I want to get you all together in a scene now because like Pablo said there that you can all just choose to do jobs for different communities, and again it's eerie. There's no reprisals yet.
Yeah.
Uh, so let's get the three of you in back in the community center. It's like, oh, because I want y'all to hash out like what y'all want to do for now. I think also another detail I should have added when Hyperreal when you met the owls. The reason why they're all kind of like a bit like they're not willing to mobilize is because they just finished off a long operation which involved planting Aeon at that house. That's why they all look a bit worn out. But yeah, let's kind of like just actually, you know what? We've been here for an hour. Let's take like a quick 6-minute break. Come back at half. Yeah, half. So BRB. All right, welcome back. Actually, there's a thing that Ferret mentioned. I was talking to him on Wednesday about how because you only play these games for like what 4 to 5 sessions a month, you don't really get much advancement, especially with Forge in the Dark games. So I was thinking, you know what, next session you'll just start. You just get a free advancement, just so you play. Just play with some stuff. Okay, so yeah, I want to see the three of y'all this in the community center, just vibing.
Well, hey,
So what,
ladies, nice to see y'all.
so what is the general approach you like to generating jobs? Do you want us to just one of us to just suggest the premise of the job? Do you just want us to pick the faction and then you will say what the job is? Like, how do you like this to be done?
Um, I think you'll. I want you all to pick like who do you want to work with. So where do you want to go? Like who do you want to work with? Um,
Okay.
and then we'll kind of like just play out why exactly those folk and what they have in store. Because I have
Okay.
a few ideas of what each might want.
So I know the one that Power wants to go for, and I agree that's the one that we should go for. Because then we'll get 2 advances. But maybe like the way that the subject comes up is the lights start flickering in the bar. The electricity starts becoming intermittent. And I look up at where we're sat around a table, and I look up and I go like, man, that's the third time today. When the water backed up just a few hours ago, we really got to speak to those boys over in infrastructure. Find out how we can keep this place running before we all drown in our own shit.
Yeah, I like your point, Thinner. Like I was talking with my contact in the Mutant Safe Zone guard, and I have to tell you, I'm not, of course, talking to both of you. I'm like really scared. Like there are so far no orders for the guards, no repercussions. I think this is a sign that something is cooking. So maybe that's the first step. Maybe they wanna force us out to do something risky. So I just want you to know that we should be extra careful. But by all means, like Hyperreal, it's nice to see you. What are your thoughts on the?
Yeah, I see the things are going to hell. I
I mean,
mean,
that's why they put us there, right? It's they put us in hell, and they're gonna make it. They're gonna turn up the heat. That's the whole point of
yes,
this
the
place.
thing is, I don't know if they are actually turning up the heat and it's just greed and incompetence. Because you know how it is. Already, even for humans, they subcontract the cheapest service. We can go and talk with the people doing the actual work, and they will tell us they cannot do anymore, and they cannot do anymore. I mean, the city has contracted the cheapest provider, and they're probably using
I
cutting out
mean,
the corners.
you know the way it works around here. This is what the city ain't doing jack. Like you say, they ain't. All they're building is a wall to keep us in and to keep us out of their place. But people around here, we got all these mechanics and engineers and so forth. They might get paid nothing, but they do their best to keep the place running. And I think that Mist, you're right. Maybe they are like the MTF is just waiting for us to pop our heads up over the parapet. But I mean, they can't. How much trouble can we get into if all we're doing is helping out construction work? How much trouble could we really get into if all we're doing is helping clean the toilets and keep the lights on?
Well, I wish it was that easy, but if the power is flickering and something else is broken, I get the feel that we will probably have to go out of the borders and go into the other zone and take something from there. And that will be, and that will have to be done. Yes.
Well, but take what? I mean, even if we get the electric system working, they can just plug out the reactor somewhere else or kill the
I
power
mean,
lines to here.
I mean, they are always saying they need better tools. I mean, a van. If maybe if we raid a construction site, we might be able to bring them some tools. Or
I don't know. Let's go and ask them what problems do they see, and because because I don't know how any of this works.
I mean,
I know how to make this works, but the macro image.
I mean, I
yeah,
might be spending way too much time with Luke, but does seem, putting a band aid to the situation. I think the problem is that we have people in the community that can do the work, but all these laws and capital screw them over. I think maybe helping them organize uh, a company that will do the maintenance that is organized as a workers co-op,
well,
that could
I
be
mean,
good. But
I did hear that one of the reasons that the right people can't do the job is that you know the humans on the inside here are not always on the up and up, right? A lot of criminals around here. I mean, that bookie that we're always dealing with. She's connected, right? And I mean, I don't know if you guys know your history, but the mafia, the crime gangs, they're in like that with the construction business, and they're trying to reach their range in here. And I heard that they're getting their men to terrorize the workers over here and to keep them from working on our fair community here.
well, it makes sense. And again, they probably have problems getting loans, so they turn to these criminals. I
Yeah,
bet they probably have some people that have debts to the wrong sort of people.
yeah. Not everyone is as mean and scary as us, right? Uh, maybe I don't know. Maybe we go talk to some of the guys down at the engineering firms, but I'm hoping they turn us towards a problem here in the zone rather than a problem here on the outside. And I feel like there's so many problems here that whatever we can at least do something. And even if all it is if we rip off the people ripping us off, then the task force, the police, they ain't gonna get involved at all. They don't care what we do in here.
I'll not be so certain.
Well, they might have good friends, right? But I
Let's
don't know.
let's go and
I
ask.
Yeah, let's find out. I mean, I'd personally like to crack some scumbag's head.
Is that you telling me that's what you want to do?
So
Is that what we call in the role playing scene a flag? I don't know.
yeah. So what I'm putting out there in metagaming terms is that we're the job that we do for the construction people. I would like it to be within the zone, or more accurately, aimed at some of the corruption and crime that takes place within the zone, within like the outside criminals that are exploiting us and are taking advantage of the lawless nature of the zone. And I want to help the construction guys, by dealing with those people, not with the government, not with the authorities, but with the people taking advantage of the fact that the authorities don't give a shit about us. So take on the mob basically at the end of the day. And I don't know if that's what my colleagues would like as well. And that could be a heist. That could be a shaking down the shakedowners. It could be stopping breaking up a protection racket. Whatever, right? But that's certainly my hope. And feel free, of course, to. I saw the thumbs up from Pavel, so I'm going to assume that Ludovico is on with that one as well.
Yeah, I am with that one. I don't think Hyperreal is, but that makes
Ah,
it better.
yeah.
Yeah,
Well, maybe
I think.
Hyperreal is connected to them in some way, right? She does street races.
Uh,
Yeah, maybe she's a getaway
oh,
driver for them sometimes. Mm.
Also, maybe she does not want to open a new front
Yeah,
because she's pretty sure we'll not be able to take organized crime on one shot.
just call us the Untouchables. Just call me Elliot Ness, and we're the Untouchables, baby.
yeah. So I think when you go to like the construction office to see what's what, yeah, you're talking to uh you're talking to their, I would say, foreman. I'll put their name in the NPC tab. Their name is hmm. Their name is Hannah Cruz. And she's quite interesting. She's quite in her 40s, and she's got like these big curly horns coming out of her mouth. And when you ask kind of like, yeah, what's the problem in town, and she she just sighs and says, "We work with what we can here for the Mutant Safe Zone, but I mean, I know what y'all get up to. I just like to think that maybe some groups here in the Mutant Safe Zone would be as altruistic as the lot of ye. Instead, um, resources are getting diverted to other ventures. Yeah, you know the big thing around here in Chicago is you got your chop shops and your street racing. Looks at you, Hyperreal, which normally it's fine because it exists outside the border, but there's been groups here in the zone that's, well, let's just say it's quite profitable for them and profitable for us. And when she says profitable, you see that she has like bandages around her her finger her fingers. It's just profitable for us to
More
keep
like
them
in
profitable.
your best interest, am I right?
Well, we're being coy, sure. Yeah, best interests.
Now, what if a little bird, or maybe, some kind of whisper carried on the wind and passed it to my friends here about the people who are you're in business with? Maybe someone could pay them a visit.
Well, they'll take all sorts, I guess.
So, would if maybe we had a conversation with the people, maybe we could increase your share of the profits.
It'd have to be a very persuasive conversation there, Mr. Blake.
Um,
We
you know,
have we have our specialties,
yeah.
negotiations, and deal brokering is could be one of them. But none of this can happen unless we know who are we to negotiate with.
She's gonna sighs and just gonna do a quick roll here. I love fortune rolls. So I'm gonna just disclaim decision making. Okay, cool. She sighs. I'm going to go roll. She sighs and says, "Well, they're not hard to find. They call themselves the Fifth House because it's literally the fifth house. Clever folk. You'll see them. They raucous people. They're not. They're not good at keeping a low profile. They flaunt what they have. You know, they're very bright house. Their very bright headquarters. How their lights never flicker. They're star players like that boy there, James, their star racer. They're They shouldn't be too hard to find for anyone who wants to talk to them.
Oh, I mean, I can beat James on a race.
Well, I won't disbelieve it, but you'll have to. Let's good luck getting there in the first place.
Now, do you think that an aggressive negotiating tactic is maybe what's required here?
Honey, now all they know is aggression. And she's gonna wave
Well,
her hand again.
well,
If you
I
believe
think
you'll be able to crack their thick skulls with some aggressive negotiation, that's up to you.
I think we can leave with a very good deal. Uh,
Well, I think we might be doing the wrong thing, going for aggressive negotiation with the heads of fifth house that benefit from the work of its people. But something tells me that the people that see all that money flowing up, maybe, what does not work with vinegar on top will hurt with honey in the bottom.
Well, look, however you wanna approach this, I got shit to do. So
yeah, if you get the time, I would wonder if you could take out the circuit breaker down on near the center. It's been playing up recently. Whole block's losing power.
I'll put it on the list.
Thank
And
you.
you can see the back. There's like a two whiteboards, and there's only like maybe 5 inches left of stuff to do on the second whiteboard. There's just a lot of scribblings.
So if I understand that right, basically the fifth house is extorting work from the engineers and power from the grid to fuel their decadent, hedonistic party house, basically. And
Yeah.
they're sucking up resources for the whole safe zone. And they've threatened the engineers into keeping it that way. So I think that maybe the best solution to this is to burn down the fifth house.
Wow. I mean, talk amongst yourselves. I'm not getting
Yeah.
involved in this
Should
planning.
we do that out of character, maybe, just for ease of strength? What do you think, guys? My other suggestions is sabotaging their street racing vehicles after placing a huge bet against them and bankrupting them. Or, the bet is that we are going to, our boy Hyperreal, our girl Hyperreal here can beat your boy James any day of the week, right? And the other, we rig it while she races.
I mean, I prefer that one because we also have things that they can set fire on.
Let them try.
Well, we cannot protect everywhere, so while we are on the community center, they set the arcade on fire. So
If you say that, Thinners will break whatever thing is closest to him at the idea of someone attacking the children. Yeah, but I mean, I quite like the idea. It's subtle rather than straightforward, right? Or it's not subtle, but it's rigging the game. It's playing it like that, right? So yeah, I would say that maybe I'd say that Thinner's role is probably to be like a bodyguard to one of you, like backup, but maybe Mist goes in and sabotages some vehicles and so forth, like cuts the brake line, shoves sugar in the gas tank, that kind of thing. And our other job is to get them to agree to make this bet, right?
yeah, because we need to put hype. Because
Yeah, we need to
otherwise
build it
we'll
up.
not get attention. So we need some devastating victories.
Yeah, fifth house, more like last house, like more like flop house, like yeah.
Wow. You asked the Littles to come up with that.
I asked the littles to start chanting that, like yeah. I mean, we'd get +1 on an engagement roll, right, from the littles. So how would that?
Yeah, but the entanglement from previous session cancels that out. So.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm just like wondering how we should approach them because I'm not sure if we are after their money. I think maybe we wanna bait them into putting something on a table that is like, tangible for us. Like they will stop draining power, or they will leave the engineers alone. You want to like somehow bait them into putting this, because I don't think it's about money. It's probably more like resources war right down here.
Yeah.
So this might be kind of difficult because it's hard to like get someone to put it on a table. That could be also interesting how we get them into like, it's like in the poker, you throw your car keys on the table or something like this. We need them to like offer this, like, we will leave the engineers alone. But
we need to bait them into making the offer, right? We need to bait them into not doing something, into agreeing, into promising not to touch the engineers, and to stop being parasites on the rest of the community. So like,
which is, I don't think we can persuade them to stop being parasites. It's like, probably off the table, but we can, like, in front of people, ask them to like promise that we will like leave the engineers alone, or like on the table, and maybe they will, maybe they won't, who knows. I think
we've got to get that promise from them, like the kind of the public sort of like, we won't, we've got to get there. Like so if we say we can't trust their word, then we've got to make them promise it in public, so that like everybody around them, and like they'd lose reputation by going back on their word, right? Like they've made the bet, they've made the thing. So maybe what we have to do is we have to get Victoria, the bookie, to orchestrate this kind of powered, this deal, right? That she'll hold them to account because she's connected, right? And like, if the whole reason that people are making bets and this event's taking place is because of the stakes, but the stakes are, what do we offer? That we know what we want from them. What can we offer them?
I mean, if 5 houses wins all the time, Victoria cannot make money from this.
Yeah, I mean, but why would Fifth House agree to engage in the race? You only, like in poker, right? You only bet when you think that you've got a chance of winning. And you know what the pot is. So we know what they're betting, or what we want them to bet, but what are we betting that they could win?
I don't know. Maybe that's a good question to like do some gather information about, because I have honestly no idea.
Well, I think, if we start hyping out Hyperreal and we get it out that its part is her car that has been modified by the mechanics and the engineer, and the mechanics and the engineer refuse to work with Fifth House, and then we make a deal. Okay, if you win, they work for you and they'll work on your car.
What if they win? Hyperreal starts working for them.
Yeah,
I like that. So the only problem I have with that is that if Hyperreal doesn't win, then she's not worth the hype. You know what I mean? Like,
but the thing is, then she starts working for them, and then they're like, okay, she's not only just a straight racer, she works for the Owls, so now we have an in on those damn Owls.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And maybe like the big hype is that she's the best street racer around, and that James isn't shit, right? James, their star racer, like only an idiot would have him as a star racer. Like, what?
Well, the problem is that James is not as good as a racer as Hyperreal, but he's a good damn engineer and mechanic. And without the mechanics and engineers on my side, she loses this advantage towards James.
Yeah. So exactly, right? So the two-pronged attack is we're baiting them into saying that their star racer isn't shit, and that if you lose, then you go to work for them, right? And you won't you won't race again, you won't do whatever, right? You won't be taking money out of their pockets anymore. You'll throw races, maybe, like that could work, right? You'll throw races in the future against James.
I think we're going too far in this planning. We should really get into.
We're doing that thing that Blade says. You don't have to, because we can just flashback.
Yeah, that's actually the thing that Blade says not to do. No.
I literally
getting into the weeds.
I've
Yeah.
never
Go
done this in a Forge in the Dark
Roll
game. So.
roll
ahead.
the what is the name of the
Engagement?
Engagement.
the roll the engagement and then have that fit the result with
Yeah.
the
Okay, so let's go to advantages and disadvantages. Is the operation particularly bold or daring?
I'd say so.
I mean, I can end up in ending third service to 5,000, so I think it is.
Okay.
It's big and
Alright.
flashy, right? At least.
Well, the question is, what do we want to do? Because to me, it sounds like this job is like has two parts. So like first part is like this negotiation, and what is our position in this negotiation? That's the first job part, and then there's actually the race part and the sabotage and whatever else we'll be doing.
I would actually say that the first part is the roll.
Yeah.
Because if the roll is poor, our negotiation starts on a disadvantage. If the roll is good, we start at an advantage.
Mhm.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. Yeah. So I'd say, yeah, it's definitely bold and daring.
Okay. Is this operation overly complex or contingent on many factors?
Yes.
All right, so goodbye, extra die. Does the plan's detail expose a vulnerability of the target or hit them where they're weakest?
I'd say so. It hits them in their moneymaker. It hits them in their rep.
Okay, back to one. Is the target strongest against his approach, or do they have particular defenses or special preparations? I've described them as decadent fuckboy, so I don't know if they have defenses for this. So yeah, I think we'll keep that one. Can any of your friends or contacts provide aid or insight for this operation?
Yeah, I mean, does one of my rivals count as a aid thing?
No.
Because no, okay. But
No, because the next question is: are any enemies or rivals interfering in the operation? So no, that doesn't count.
oh, but I mean, I wouldn't say that she's interfering. I'm leveraging her greed to.
Maybe this is a case of a devil's bargain. She is helping, but
Yeah.
You know what? Sure, I'll give you that +1. Yeah. So that's 2d6 for the engagement roll. Anyone want to roll? What's the roll is?
Where's the rolling room?
Oh, it's in the city tab. See, there's a
Okay.
link for. I'll link.
3.
Oh. Okay, so on a 3, bad result. You're in a desperate position when the action starts. Yeah, I think the negotiation actually goes well because they're the fifth house and their leader's name is Goddard. Just put it there. He's got kind of like his veins kind of glow like this like neon blue. I think he you come to him with this proposition and he says, all right, okay. I mean, we all know that Hyperreal there is just, I mean, she's not just up to the hype, is she? I mean, go on, I'll take you on, sure. If you win, then yeah, we'll leave them damn engineers alone. But if we win, because of course we fucking know, of course we will win, because why are we? We're the fifth house, that's what we are. We win. We'll have you, and he also points at, yeah, we'll have you here with us. You and anyone else you might know.
Who does he point at?
Hyperreal.
And
But when he
yeah.
says anyone else you might know, his eyes kind of flicker to mist, as if like, look, we know who you're friends with. And yeah, so the negotiation goes surprisingly well. It's the bit with the sabotage where it kind of goes poorly because okay. So tell me, how are you sabotaging the car before it starts?
I leave that to Mist.
Okay, so Well, we need to like paint the scene. Is it like a street racing? So are we thinking like really fast and furious? Everyone is standing on a street, crowd of people, kind of like a hard sabotage place, or everyone is, or are there like boxes? Are we thinking like Star Wars, Phantom Menace, where like everyone has their box and you can like sneak into the box? I'm like, I need some fiction. Do you want me to set it?
Let's start with the former. I think it really deserves more Fast and Furious. I think the tricky part is, yeah, it's out in the open, it's loud, it's annoying, and you can feel like when you're trying to kind of reach out, you can feel this buzzing in your head, um, as if like that feeling where like when it feels like you have crosshairs on you.
Yeah. So, what was their driver? James the Star Racer. Yeah, I think so. I totally imagine that James has like a really cool car with like an underglow, with like far more than needed exhaust pipes, and like there was like a large crowd probably around it. But for some reason they always have the hood up and they like show off the engine like V16 with like the triple turbo in it. And I think we see like Mist moving through the crowd, and she looks at the guy who's like standing like in front of the opened engine block and just like making sure that nobody like messes with it. And we see like Mist just like observes which girl his eyes lies on. She looks at that girl, and then and then she looks at him, and we see from his perspective, Mist looks kind of similar to this girl, but she's like coming to him like flirtingly, just like puts a finger on him. Oh, big boy! And this like I see that James has his bodyguard watching his car. So what is this car? Like she placed it completely down. Like, so what is this fancy car? What can you tell me about it?
Before we get to the consequence of this, because he did roll a 3. Before shit hits me, I want to see where everyone else is. Where is Hyperreal?
So Hyperreal is working under the hood of her car because she does not trust anyone else to give a look at it. So she's thinking stuff, making sure nobody's sabotaging, because she's pretty sure that those fifth house people, they cannot be trustworthy, and things are going way too easy. She's very suspicious.
All right. And yeah, I was gonna say, who's the untrustworthy swines here? Thinner, where are you?
I think that Finna is basically waiting for Mist to give her an opportunity to wreck the car in some way. Like Mist's distraction, like her ploy is to draw our eyes towards her and draw our attention towards her, and Thinner's approach is to break something quickly and easily, like only he can, right?
God. So yeah, Miss, you're doing your distraction, and you say, yeah, James has a bodyguard. Or I think yeah, there's a second person there, because when you kind of go up to like, hey, what's this car? This person kind of slides into view, and you can see that it's Aeon, and he grabs you by the shoulders and says, "You left me to die. You left me to die, Mist. You fucking left me to die."
Yeah, like Mist is like completely like off, like Eon, what are you doing here?
I came here for you. You fucking left me. You did your thing. You erased your images there, but I can't believe that I thought you believed in the cause because you just ran. You left a fellow soldier behind.
Yeah, so this turns sideways really quick. So I think like we are like I was like approaching this car, then he showed up, and like Mist is like really triggered by his approach. So she like drops the illusion. She I should like more that I had this illusion on this guy. Or maybe I still have it. Who knows? Yeah, and she like focuses on Eon, and she like looks at him and says, "You idiot! What did you think doing what you have done? You are putting everyone here at risk for your selfish ideals. Like, what do you think will happen now that everyone knows that some mutant perform a terrorist attack on the head of mutant task force?" And they like got into like this big fight, throwing arguments left and right because Mess is trying to like show him the pointlessness of his approach, and he probably points her that she isn't doing as much. So kind of like this now becomes a distraction. Not sure how efficient distraction.
The thing is, Thinner, you can see Mist, right? Yeah, she's talking to nobody. From your point of view, she is making a scene. She's kind of making a scene, but it looks weird because she's not talking to anybody.
Mm.
And then you can see in the distance, like Goddard, kind of like pointing her direction, going, "Okay, take this." No, pointing at her direction, and you can see two folks in a mutant task force outfits coming towards her.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe. Well, two people in a mutant task force outfit coming towards her. Right. Well, I think that. So the mutant task force is here while we're street racing. Interesting.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah.
They don't seem to care about the actual street racing. Oh.
Yeah. Well, I am a tower of strength and power, according to my character sheet. So let's bring that into the thing, and Thinner will basically, like, as they're walking, like, as he's pointing at them, and I imagine they start moving towards her then, and he will like bump past Mist, and just like, as he walks past, just be like, "Hey, nobody there, girl. You're being played with." And he'll stand like in the way of the mutant task force people. Like, he'll basically intercept them along the way.
I think, Mist, you do kind of like you do feel you vaguely hear what Thinner's saying, but Aeon's just saying excuses. That's all you always had. Excuses after excuses. You're weak, Mist. You can't pull the trigger when it needs to be pulled. You just run. You just take the easy jobs, which is what? Protecting the innocent? No, you need to get your hands bloody if you think we're gonna win this.
You're muted, Pavel.
Yeah, I suppose I like hear his argument. We are just like talking and talking, and then this guy like bumps into me, and something like clicks. I kind of want to like resist this stuff on me. Like I feel I'm being played with.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure if this is how it is supposed to go, but yeah.
Yeah, no, go ahead. What do you want to do?
No, I cannot like talk my like talking to the illusion is kind of pointless. So that's the only way to proceed.
Yeah. Oh, okay, all right. So, you need to. I think you'll need to try to break out of the illusion.
Yeah, that's
You can feel like the tingling in your head, just a bit more. Yeah, I think this is kind of a focus. disregard the note on the focus tab. There's no ghost field on in this world.
So is it like a skill check or is it like a resist check?
I think this is a skill. I think this is an action roll. You're not resisting consequences yet. You're trying to break out of this kind of illusion. What? Yeah. Which one do you think you should roll with?
Well, focus is the one to control powers. I don't know. Where is the skill list? Oh, my God.
Yeah, I'd say it's focus. If you go with focus, it's a bit of a, let's see. Your power is all about illusions and you're kind of messing with people. Well, not messing with people's mind like Hyperreal, but like it's kind of trying to trick them. So you are kind of in your element. So I'd say that's a risky standard. Good old risky standard roll. The thing is, your focus is you don't have any pips in your focus track. You can push yourself to get a die, or you can take a devil's bargain.
Yeah, if you have some devil's bargain, I would love to hear it.
Okay. Okay. Give you an extra die, but what's going to happen is you. Okay.
But I really think this is a resistance roll.
Yeah.
I'm like.
Well, the thing is,
something on me.
Yeah, well, that's the consequence of the 1 to 3 is that you immediately have this on you of the engagement roll.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, you're not yet avoiding harm because it has happened to you. Let's see you try to break free out of it. So okay, I think Devil's Bargain is that you can break free from this illusion for sure. But I think what's gonna happen is that the effort of breaking free is kind of like, I mean, you are gonna alert not just the person doing the illusion on you, but the two heading your way, and all hell is going to break loose. So it's not going to be a quiet breaking the illusion.
Okay, before we get to this, like, because I described myself initially of using a power on the bodyguard, did they actually use this, or did the consequence hit me before I started using this? That flare, if I'm not going to even talk with the bodyguard.
Yeah, we can disregard it because you didn't get, again, the consequences of the engaged roll got to you before you can properly use the ability. So
cool. Well, I have to refuse the devil's bargain, and
just gonna push yourself.
No chance or little chance. Yeah, I'm going to push myself.
Okay. All right, take 2 stress. Yeah, so you get 1 die.
Yeah, it's a fat one.
Wait, what?
It's a 1.
Oh, try 2.5. Man, remember last session we all rolling 6s on, which made my life better.
Well, that's the action, like Mist is not training, so.
Yeah. Okay. So what's? I'll be nice. It'll be grand. So what's gonna happen? Let me check properly. Okay. So what's gonna happen is you try to break free of the illusion, but Aeon, and then another Aeon, and then another Aeon, and then another Aeon just gonna surround you, and just going like, and they're just gonna keep chanting and telling you all the things they've been trying to tell you, like, you're weak, you can't save anyone, you're going to get your friends killed today, look at you lying, you're surrounded, you can't break free, you're gonna take level 1 harm. I think overwhelmed. Yeah, and I think yeah. Oh, you can resist this. Now you can resist. You can resist the harm and this effect actually if you want to.
Nope. I'm going to somehow roll with it.
Okay. Okay.
But effectively, I haven't broken out, yes, so I'm still locked in the wood illusion.
Yes, you're still kind of locked in. Let's cut to Hyperreal. So you're saying like, yeah, you're working on your car. Is that near? It's that. Is it out in the open or is it like? Where are you working your car?
I think this is final adjustment. It's just before the race starts.
Okay.
This kind everyone is showing off. So I did a quick run around the place where we are meeting before parking my car and getting my crew together, working on it.
Yeah.
Not that far
So
away.
yeah, so you can see Miss kind of just standing there, and you can see Thinner has moved to get in between Mist and the two mutant task force, which I'm gonna say right now, they kind of look like what do they look like? I think the uniform is there. It's like blue, like kind of like the what's underneath like SWAT gear. It's kind of like just it's blue, like almost like camo. And they have like these black helmets that kind of yeah just block entire block all of the their face. And yeah, you're working on your car Hyperreal, and you kind of hear and James is kind of like turned his back towards whatever's gonna happen there, and he turns to you, Hyperion, and he says like, you know we could have just had a fair race.
Come on, James. You know that all races with me are fair.
I mean, usually, but come on, Jesse, this is the first time you've had a race with me with actual stakes.
Well, you know how awkward it is because let's be honest, we cannot really be fair with one another because we are not being our best. Look at me covered in grease. Look at you trying to race me. I mean, it's yin and yang. We are just incomplete. You know that I'll never have a car as fine tuned as you do, but you also know that you will never match my reflexes. It'll never be fair. You'll always be lacking something. You know that.
True. I guess we'll always be canceling each other out. So why this? Why this? Why these stakes? What do you have to get out of helping some construction workers?
Whoa. Being with Fifth House really changed you.
Well, excuse me for trying to look out for myself. That's
Well,
the best we can do around here.
well, the problem is, you are disposable. You know that? They want me because they want to have a second racer to burn. So, they can just throw you away or throw me away. We are just dispensables for them. At least, I'm trying to make the mechanics and engineers into a community, into people that are looking over each other. And you could be one of them. But here we are. Well, it's like I said, could have a fair race. If you win, you can do the right thing and side with your community instead of the people exploiting them.
Jesse, this isn't about, you know, what's good or what's right anymore. It's about who gets to survive. And I'm sorry, but I'll always try to survive. Even if it has to be over you and everyone else. Like, yeah, Right now, I'm kind of disposable, but I only have to just keep running and make sure I overtake you all.
Mm-hmm. And then you run into more problems. And what? Then you run away from that too?
Well, you know about me. I don't run fast, but I sure last.
Yeah, that's always what I like more about you. That's why I believe, you talk about survival, but to survive, we need to do as a community. It's like I said, I covered your weakness and we were invincible as a team. As a community, it's the same. You alone, you know that you have things that you cannot do.
Jesse, I don't plan on being exceptional. All I have to do is just outrun you all while. And he turns and his had gestures at the two mutant task force folk, whatever they're gonna do to Thinner, to Mist, who has been waylaid at her sabotage plan, and 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 James says, "It's not just about outrunning you; it's about outrunning them."
Oh, I know you are good, but you're not that good. Cannot outrun them alone.
Well, I'm not alone. I got the fifth house with me.
The fifth house are scam. If they think that they can sell you by selling to the task force, they will. Don't delude yourself.
Sounds like you're trying to reach out to him in some way. You're pleading to his to a higher standard for him.
Yeah. Well, I'm not asking you to throw my race. I'm asking you to give your best. And that includes giving the best after the race is over. So that's what I tell him.
Okay, I think what I am gonna ask for a roll here, and what this is gonna do is like this might alleviate whatever sabotage they got planned for you.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if this command or sway.
Ooh. Yeah, it doesn't sound like you're commanding though, because um, yeah, I don't know if it's command because you're kind of like Well, it might be actually because you're kind of using your force of personality. You know them. You're telling them like, look, you could be better. You used to be better together. I'll let you have that because
Uh,
you all knew each other. Let's say this is risky. Great, be nice.
okay, so I'm gonna burn stress to get that extra one.
Cool.
And is there a devil's bargain in the table?
I think you can only have one either or. Either push yourself or accept the devil's bargain.
I've been using all of them actually.
Yeah.
I might have been doing
I didn't know if it was in the mutant stuff, but I'm following the blades one there, which
yeah, on
fits
Blades
right.
is
Yeah.
Ether. Yeah.
Yeah. I need to double check if it's there in mutants. Yeah, that's 3d6. That's some good.
Oh, I got a 6.
Oh my god! I think, yeah, you see the doubt flicker in his eyes, and he looks at whatever's going to happen there. And because so since this is also a 6, I think what he's going to do is that he's going to look at you, and then he's going to like quirk his head towards a direction. And if you look at that direction, you're going to see this man with like platinum Draco Malfoy blonde hair, clad in a suit and a long black tie and this black coat, and he's staring daggers at Mist. And then once you see that, and if you turn back, you see that James has his hand out and says, I really never like it when you get all idealistic on me because it fucking works.
Well, it only works because you know it's true.
Oh, fuck off. Let's just race.
Yes, let's get this on. Before that, I want to use on blast so that I have a telepathic link with Mist because I see the state they are and like, why are they freezing? So I figured that they might need some mental help.
Yeah. Okay. So I think what's this gonna look like? What's this gonna look like is you're gonna pop in the sea of aeons that are yelling at you, Mist. Hyperreal is gonna be able to pop in. What do you say to Mist?
Hey, I managed to get James to stop being a shitty asshole for a second. Why are you freezing? Did you have any problems with the sabotage?
And you see Mist like just like standing there in the middle of the argument with someone, and she just says like, "I'm arguing with Eon about what's right and what's wrong."
Ian is not here. Ian is in some black site somewhere.
Right here, standing in front of me.
Hey, wake up. Ian is not here.
Like, I can see him.
Well, I don't.
Like,
While you're talking, yeah, all the eons have kind of frozen. All the aeons have frozen around you as Hyperreal is talking to you.
mm. Yeah, I don't know what to do.
Well, I can help, but you will have to give me access and you might not like it.
Mm. Yeah, I literally have no idea what to do with this moment, guys. Like, I'm locked in this illusion. I cannot break it off. I don't know what can I do. Like, I cannot use powers. I don't know who's casting them. I don't know.
A
Like, I'm
flashback?
in a place I
I don't
cannot do
know.
anything.
Yeah. Maybe there's a flashback to a safe. I don't know. I don't know either. I don't know
Yeah.
the system well enough to know what the options are.
Yeah, you can use a stress to have a flashback to get.
Yeah. Oh, okay, cool. Okay. I think what we'll do is let's see. Yeah, you're kind of trapped in this moment, and let's see. I think yeah. So that's a way. You can use a flashback to kind of like map out that maybe. I mean, flashback is just there to like make sure that we didn't have to do the planning stuff. You know what? Actually, we are time again on top of the hour again. Let's step away from the table for a moment, and because I need to turn on the lights. It's got the darkest Plato's cave in here. Let's take a good 10 minutes, and then we'll figure out where we stand. We might cut to thinner, see what he does, because
Sure.
we have not cut to him. But yeah, we'll come back after 10 minutes.
Sure.
Cool. All right. So I found the lights. They're back on. Thanks. So let's cut to thinner. Um, yeah. What was your plan? You're just gonna stand in between these two plan, yeah. Between Mist and the two task force goons, right?
Well, I'm gonna, intercept him effectively, and just be
Okay.
like, "Gentlemen, thank God you're here. I saw some vile mutants down that alleyway over there. They were owls. They were claiming they were gonna burn the system down, and so forth."
Okay. What is this role you're making? What is this
Uh,
action you're making? What do you think?
what is lying? Is that sway?
Yeah, that's sway.
Yeah, I guess I'll roll sway again, even though I have no dice in it. So I
Yeah.
will.
What that means is you'll roll 2d6 and take the lowest. So you might want to push yourself or accept a
Yeah.
bargain.
What would the bargain be?
Um, they, um, I mean, you got their attention. So what's going to happen is wherever they go, they're gonna take you, and that includes going to this alleyway where the owls are. They're gonna take you with them.
That sounds good to me.
Okay, so that's 1d6. This is desperate. This is
Cool.
this is desperate. The standard, I'd say. This is brazen enough to be standard.
Can I push myself for an extra die on top of that?
No, it's either
Okay, cool. It's
the
either
bargain
take it
or
or one. Yeah,
yeah.
that is a 4.
Okay, all right. So on a 4, what's gonna happen is I'm going to start a 4-tick clock, and what's going to the clock is, let's see, MTF, Mutant Task Force, arrest, and actually no. Okay, so what's gonna happen is they look at you, and it says, "Well, one of them is like, well, we've heard reports. Well, we've heard reports that there are mutants in the area, but we have reliable reports that they are right in front of, they're ahead of us.
I mean,
Reliable reports.
you are in the
Reliable.
mutants. You are in the mutant safe zone, gentlemen. There are mutants all around you. In fact, I'm going to lay out a big surprise for you now. One of them is standing right in front of you.
Well, that is terribly surprising, sir. Sir, your name?
My name is Jeff Hamilton.
Well, Mr. Hamilton, if you're an upstanding citizen of this Mutant Safe Zone, would you kindly take us to where you spotted these owls?
Of course, sir. Of course. Follow me. And he chooses the darkest, narrowest, smart, like most out of the way alleyway that will lead away from the crowds and the watching guys.
What are you gonna do to them?
I mean, let's find out, right?
What do you tell me? I think before, because you're leading the way, before you can even turn to them, that you can hear the shock of the electric batons as they can extend them out, and you hear you hear one of them say like, Harrison Blake, you're under arrest for aiding and abetting the murder of Nathaniel Fairchild. If we would prefer if you come quietly. This doesn't need to be messy.
Well, I'm afraid things get messy here in the zone. And with that, I'm gonna attack them. I'm not, we're out of view of the crowds and the things, right? And it's game time. You know.
All right. So this is clearly a skirmish. Are you calling upon your massive strength?
That is strongest there is, right? And I
Yeah.
suppose it only counts if I do a successful skirmish roll. So,
Oh, yeah, true. Yes, that's true. That's true.
which I will do if I do a successful skirmish roll. But
Okay, cool. So this is going to be
skirmish?
yeah, it's skirmish. I'm just figuring out
Okay. Oh,
the
the roll. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
yeah, I'm just figuring out the effect and the position. Now you're kind of in an element. You kind of led them down the alley, so it's risky standard.
Cool. And I will. I'd get 2 dice, right, for that.
Yeah.
I will push myself as well for 2 stress to get 3 dice
Okay.
because I really want to succeed.
That's 3d6.
That's a 4.
Wait, oh yeah, I see. I see where you're rolling. I was looking at the wrong dice. Okay, so on the 4. Okay, so what's gonna happen is I'm going to advance the clock. Yeah, it's a 4-tick clock. It's a mutant task force arrest. You're now 3. Yeah, you're 3 out of 4 ticks.
Is that a successful roll? I think it
Oh
is,
yeah,
right? 4?
it's a mix, so it's a
Yeah.
4.
But I'm able to
So
use strongest there is for it, correct?
yes, yeah, it's
Yeah.
successful.
So my massive strength is
So, yeah, it should be 2 out of 4, not 3 out of 4. Sorry, go on.
my massive the level of harm I deal to my opponent is I'm going to kill these people.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Tell me how. Well, I think I'll throw a veil over that. We'll just say you do it. You did it.
I mean,
You beat them up.
yeah. Well, basically, it's beating them so badly that they're effectively dead. You know, it's
Yeah.
like they come at me. I punch my hand straight through one of the helmets. I lift the other one and throw him like up straight up into the air, and he lands badly. And then I just sort of look and I go like, "What a mess!" And I leave. I leave those 2 bodies in there.
Jesus
And
Christ.
maybe and I'm just like, that was for, and we haven't lost. That was for Tina.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Let's cut away from you back to the brouhaha and the illusion zone. So what's gonna happen is because you kind of intruded in their hyperreal, and let's say there was a bit of confusion on like the ability, but we'll roll with what we happened. We'll go with what we had. So what's gonna happen is yeah. Oh my god. So what's gonna happen is you know the crowd around you is kind of like waiting for this race to happen, but time's gonna stand still for the 2 of you, and those aeons disappear, and in front of you, Mist and Hyperreal, is that man that James pointed out. Hyperreal, the Draco Malfoy motherfucker, and he is like, Aeon spoke highly of the 2 of you when we got our hands on him. He said that if he had 10 of each of you 2, well, there probably wouldn't be a mutant task force standing. Oh, thank God, there's only the 2 of you then.
You're a mutant and you work for the task force?
Let's just say, well, there's no point denying anything. Why does that make your skin crawl? That Oh, you tell me then. How does that make you feel?
You sold your soul. Like, we are here fighting every day, and you are there in the luxury, mingling with humans. You're a traitor to us.
I'm not here to justify how I choose to survive. If you people want to throw your lives away for something terribly pointless, that's your prerogative. Me? Well, like you said, I'm sitting pretty. Which one of us here is truly living?
This goes sideways like really fast. Now, Max is like really pissed by this guy, and she looks at him, and I do the reverse trick on him. Now I place him in the illusion that he is here, talking to me, to us.
Ooh!
Yes,
Nice.
casting on target into an illusion. Yes.
Yes, Plato's cave.
Yeah. And then I'm like, I completely already forgot some like sabotage. No, I was like looking around for this guy. I want to like find and like shank him like really like blade up his like.
Yeah, I think you've seen his face. He kind of stands out because everyone kind of here is like, they're part of the Mutant Safe Zone. They kind of like there's kind of a familial culture to it. Everyone's kind of like, dress nice or dress outlandish. It's vibrant. But he stands out because he's this cold, decrepit, the type of, it looks like he went to like Oxford.
Yeah.
Again, he is just Tom Felton. He is just Draco Malfoy in my head. You see him right there.
Yeah, like Mist like approaches him, and we see like she like takes some like really like handmade knife blade, probably like 20 years old from some like navy shop, like the Swiss knife. Oh, like isn't literally like a true knife, and then and like gets to this guy and like looks him into face while he's in this illusion of talking to us, and she's like. Just like says, like, you traitor, and just like begins to like stab him like once, twice, third times. Like
Ooh.
some sabotage, like doesn't matter. Like this guy's a traitor.
Nice. Okay, so what's the action roll? This might be a prowl because you're ambushing him.
Probably, yeah. I think that as soon as he starts to take damage, he should shake out from the illusion. So
Yeah,
but I get like the upper hand of it.
Yeah. No, that's fine. Yeah, you got the drop on him for sure. While your ability is active, your precision for action rolls is desperate. So, yay.
By the way, guys, don't forget to mark XP for your desperate actions because you also had some.
Yeah. Okay. So I think this is desperate. Great. This is desperate. Great. You want to stick with the 2 dice, or do you want to push to get another?
I will stay with 2 dice and see where they get me.
Oh, I just realized that you have a harm, so this is just desperate standard.
I think both of them should be filled. I never remember how the harm in the blades works.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Maybe it is both. I need to reread Blades actually.
I don't remember. So I.
You know what?
Yeah.
I'll give you desperate. Great.
It can be however you like.
No, go ahead. I'll give you great because I need to read. You know what? You gave me a good excuse to reread Blades anyway. What you got?
Double 6.
Oh wow. Okay, so you can take back one stress. You can get rid of 1 stress. I think it's your one.
This wasn't a resistance roll. That happens
on
a resistance roll.
Okay. All right, I need to reread Blades clearly.
It means that the effect is above great.
Yeah,
I know.
Exceptional. I think. Hold on. Let me. Yeah. Shit. I don't see how this guy. Oh man, oh man.
I think I think that maybe the extra effect goes to like I don't remember who we were talking with, because he was clearly working with the mutant task force and sell us out.
Yes.
So I think maybe the effect goes to that he sees that we like got rid of the mutant task force, and he, I don't know, tries to take some panic action. I don't know, starts to run or something
Yeah.
else.
But the thing is, he's got multiple stab wounds from you.
Yeah, this guy definitely.
Yeah, I think when I think he doesn't even notice until like, I don't know, you say some badass one-liner or something like.
I don't think it's like a epic moment of prank. This is like a
Oh,
very
yes.
sad moment. Like the sad music is playing, and he probably like falls on the ground, and then just like stab him the last time, and just like look him into eye, and then just say, "You betrayed us, and look where it got you."
Yeah.
It's not an epic moment. It's a dirt.
Yeah.
And like blood's just like covered with blood. People around are just like stepping out, like what is happening here? It's like dark.
Yeah.
Not heavy scene.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, and you say you betrayed us, and as the light leaves his eyes, yeah, you've killed this guy. It's a critical. So it's what's beyond great. It's just yeah. Jesus, I think that kind of like I think that kind of like sets. I think that kind of finishes the job, because what's gonna happen is I don't want to like. I have to detail by detail go through the race. I think the combination of the two managing to discover and beat back the mutant task force, because that was Goddard's trump card, was he was going to have the mutant task force come in.
I was kind of hoping for a roll to see how Hyperreal raced. I have to say.
Okay.
Well, it's up to you. We can try. At least maybe we can, we cannot sabotage the car, but maybe we can like put some problems on the road.
Yeah, okay. All right.
It's up to you, because it's an important thing. Like, we set up to race, and
That's
now
true.
we have like race on the real rules. No
That's true.
sabotage.
That is true. All right.
But I'm fine anyway.
They're actually race, right? We didn't get to sabotage them, and they didn't get to sabotage us. So now it's a straight.
You managed to cancel each other out. Yeah.
Well, your microphone is not properly set. We hear you very well. Oh, yeah.
Sorry. Yeah. Thanks.
Okay. All right. So I want like, again, we're not going to go through it bit by bit, but I think people can help with this role or two. So what does it look like, Hyperreal, when you drive? Just like, what's the feeling? How does she look?
So Hyperreal turns off the GPS, all the self-driving stuff of the car, disables all the safety issues, and then she just dives deep into her memories of the road, and she's fully attuning herself with the city. She becomes one with the past of Chicago, and then she runs through the streets like hellfire.
Nice. Yeah, and I think James is kind of like, he is an engineer, so he is more controlled. He is like, it's like, it's not real. If yours is like, passionate, like get in, he is more like a controlled, like all right, let's do this by the book, let's do this. Use the force. yeah, exactly. He would have his GPS and stuff up, and he'd be fine-tuning that. Okay, so I don't know, because you managed to get rid of the sabotage and whatnot, and it's just a clear fight. I think whatever. Actually, you tell me, what's the action command, like action role? Do you think?
Well, curiously, that question keeps happening in games of Mutant in the Night. What was to drive while speeding? The last time we used Hunt and Tinker. So I think Hunt, Finesse, and Tinker are my typical suggestions to that.
Yeah, considering the way you described it, because it's it's all concentrate. You're concentrating whatnot. Yeah, it does have to be finesse.
Okay, so I'm gonna burn 2 stress for extra effect and 1 extra dice. So
Okay.
that gives me 1 dice.
Okay, I'm gonna say what the 2 did to get rid of sabotage. That counts as like a help, so you can get an extra die for that. And this is controlled. If there was sabotage, it would be risky or desperate, but this is controlled. You got this. You've got this.
Is it going to be all solved by one roll? Should we like help? Should we like describe how we are making this like easy
Okay.
or Hyperreal, or do you want to like make a multiple rolls? How do you want to handle this?
Hyperreal?
I think we showed roll, and then we have a montage of the effect
Yeah.
of what the different things that you guys did for the race.
Okay.
I have a 5.
Okay. All right. So, the intended effect successful, but at a cost. Okay. One of the established consequences listed on the PC's power sheet. Okay. So let me just check that. Okay. So as you're racing, I want to see how is Mist helping?
I think we see. I'm trying to remember what year it is, but I think it's quite near future.
Yeah, 2040 something.
Yeah, so definitely this technology is available. So we see Mist somewhere with like a laptop connected to some like box on the side of the building, and she's trying to like steer the street lights and steer like the. I totally imagine that in the pavement there is like some there are some like blockades that you can extend or hide to like.
Bollards.
Excuse me.
Bollards.
Yeah, that you can like make them to like block certain roads when there are reconstructions. So we totally see Mace like tinkering with this and also tinkering with streetlight, because I totally imagine that this race happens as with the normal like traffic light. So she tries to like send more cars on the way and somehow hoping that Hyperreal can navigate it better than the opposition. Oh, we lost Leandro.
Yeah. Hey, am I back?
Yeah.
I don't know what happened. You said bollards, and then suddenly,
Yeah.
just an error.
Yeah. So to repeat myself, Mist is tinkering with city traffic control and like turning the lights in the wrong order, or like raising bollards to block the car passage and making it difficult for she's trying to time it so that Hyperreal can get ahead of everyone else, and helping like this way steering the intelligent city traffic control, hacking it.
Yeah, I think the consequences then it's still a success. It's a partial success. What's gonna happen is I'm going to tick a clock, and it's a clock I started at the start of the session. It's called Mutant Task Force Plan for the MSZ. And this clock is now filled, and we'll see the consequences of that, because what you're doing is going to help. It is totally going to help Hyperreal win this race, but it's a bit conspicuous what you're doing. It's kind of quite conspicuous. So yeah, so all right, I think Hyperreal, describe the last stretch of this as we make it to the finish. We make it to the finish line. And did Pablo freeze there? Yeah, he's not holding that pose up like that.
Yeah, all work malfunctioning.
Okay, all right. Sorry, my Google Hangouts is being weird.
Yeah, mine is stuck on Powell's the main image now with his arms slightly up in like. Cool.
That's weird. So yeah. Oh, there we go. All right, hey, you're back. Is this gonna happen to each of us? Sorry, Mabo. You were stuck doing that. I thought it was gonna happen again. Okay, all right. So Hyperreal. Describe this last stretch as you clinch it.
So this last stretch, it's very close because in the beginning I was quite. It's been a long time since I actually ran, and I was always conservative, and I was always letting James get a big gap. But then after the traffic, all the information that is fed on this computer is wrong. And he needs to slow down to compute the algorithm. And then I catch up, and then we keep racing neck to neck until we get to the last stretch, which we have this bridge that is slowly lifting as a boat is going to pass. And I jump last in the last moment while James has to turn his car to avoid falling into the water. And then I finish the race.
Nice. Oh, that's really cool. And I think so. Yeah, I think so. You've won, and I think what we kind of see is, yeah, you won. You come out, people are cheering and whatnot. Hopefully, Thinner comes back with no blood on his hands. Uh, hopefully, Miss comes back with no blood in her. As they kind of greet you and whatnot. Goddard's there, looking quite pissed, and you can see like his veins, his blue veins, are like they're crackling up. But before he can get to you, James comes out of his car, kind of gives you a nod. The three of you gives you a nod, and kind of like go up to confront Goddard, and you can probably hear like an argument there about how, Fifth House ain't what it used to be. We're not traitors. We're not. We're better than that, and that argument is probably going to spill over the next couple of days, and it's going to keep them occupied enough that, yeah, I think, yeah, you're not collaborators. Oh dear, I lost Will now. Oh shit, it is going to happen to each one of us. Okay, Ludo, you need to prepare like a pose now, so when it happens to you. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, so I think yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's gonna happen to all of us. Yeah. So after much bloodshed, I did not expect all this bloodshed. Yeah, I think you completed your job. So I'm gonna take over the engineers. So that means you get their thing, which means, yeah, you get a new ability, and and like I said, you're gonna get another one anyway next week, because I give you a free one. So let's do like the end of a job thing. The what is the name for it? I need to reread after a job. Okay, I need to fucking reread Blades. Actually, let's. I want to go back to like that victory scene, like the three of you like together, like, yeah, you did it. The two of you, Mist and Thinner. Do you say anything to Hyperreal?
Good racing. And he's just like brushing in stuff, and his hands are shaking slightly, from like adrenaline come down. Like he's like, yeah, good job, Hyper. That was damn fine racing. I mean,
Yeah. Is everything okay, Tina? I mean, I just raced and you seem to be more startled than I was.
oh, nothing that isn't a normal day in the zone, I wouldn't worry about it.
I know how a normal day in the zone is.
Yeah,
That's
well,
what makes me worried.
yeah, well, nothing I can't handle, and he just tightens his fists really tight, and then they're stable afterwards. Like they're straight.
Yeah, I think we still see Mace like covered with this like blood a lot, and move her like laptop and the cables from hacking the city traffic. And says, "Oh, you got me worried. I'm sorry that I didn't complete my part of the job. I got carried away with some traitor, but that's dealt now. Oh, and thank you for your help. It was breaking point. I have never expected one of us to work for them."
Well, there are always collaborators. That's always what happens with every exploited minority. There's always those willing to throw their peers down the grinder.
Yeah, there is just one less of those collaborators now. I'm glad we still managed to get the job, despite all the troubles.
Okay. So yeah, the end of playbook stuff, we'll do that later. Let's just do the payoff, I guess. And okay, I think you will probably get some cash from the engineers. I think it's more like, we would have given this to the fifth house, but I'm gonna give it to y'all, as a show of
Rather than it be the engineers giving us cash, could it be perhaps that we just placed a bet on with just a not this big bet that we made, but like just money bets,
Yeah, okay. I think they'll give you like 2 cash each.
Cool.
And okay, so let's do heat. Okay. You took a job against a high-profile, well-connected target. Inside the zone, kinda, yeah. I mean, they're connected to the MTF, I guess. No, they're thugs. I don't think they're high-profile. They're thugs. Terrible thugs, but your job happened in a human zone. No. Items you stole need to be fenced. No. Your crew killed some. Yeah, there we go. Your crew killed someone. So that's added on to your heat. You're now 4. A high-profile, well-connected target saw and can remember
that only one hit for each category.
Yeah. So So you got at least +1 heat. Let's see. I don't think any of the 3 and +2 counts. I
think they identified Thinner. I think they called him by his name and wanted to arrest him.
Well, he killed them.
Yeah, but it means sort of they know who he was. At least.
Yeah, but that's from a previous session. I don't think it counts for this one.
Okay, just saying that they know who they know who are.
Yeah. And I don't think there's in there for the +3. I don't think you were caught using your powers on camera, and nobody died. In Christ, it's only 4 heat. You're on 4 heat total. I like rolling these dice. This orange die has been terrible for y'all in terms of fortune rolls, let me just say. But I'm just gonna roll here. Okay, that is a. All right, so you are gonna get the 4 to 5 one. Good luck in your next job. Your enemies are more prepared for the effects of your powers. I think the illusion bit you did specifically missed, and the strength that I think they're gonna be more prepared now.
I guess they'll find the bodies of 2 mutant task force members who were beaten to death, right? Basically, so they'll know.
Yeah. I mean, if you want to. We'll see. We'll see when we get to downtime. I think we'll punt downtime to next week because we don't have much time. I do want to because last time we did downtime, we were kind of a bit of a hurry. But next week we're kind of we'll do downtime. So why don't we get a final shot of each of you as you come back as the day winds down. Start with the order of the character keeper backwards. Actually, no. Let's start with that. Yeah, let's start with as they are. So, Miss, what's kind of the last shot we see of you for as the day winds down?
Yeah, I think I think we see Cherish. I think we established that his friend Stefan is performing in the bar. So I think it's like late night after all the like post racing parties done, after post all the shows and everything. I think we see Cherish and her friend Stefan, who is a drag queen, just sitting at the bar. Stefan is in all of his like outfit from from the show, and Cherish is like really like so just like sobbing after the drink that was the first time she like met with like the collaborator. She got really angry and like and like really murdered him with like a cold blood, and she's like a very sad that she had to do it, but she's also very convinced that this was the right thing to do. And yeah, and just like two of them sitting and talking as the crew is like cleaning after the party and everything. The two of them are just sitting there.
Aw. Thinner. Yeah. How are you?
Thinner is, I think he's taken a bottle of whiskey, and he's just like drinking the bottle by himself, and just looking down at his hands, and then he just picks up like a rock off the ground, and then just crushes it with his bare hands and looks down at it and lets all the dust like blow away in the wind, like in the breeze, and then drinks from the bottle, and just he's thinking back on like how easy it was to kill people, and the price that they make you pay when they put their heel of the boot on your neck.
Can't wait to see the next time he meets up with some kids. So and Hyperreal. So last we see of you for this session.
So we see her driving quietly home, and she stops in front of her tiny apartment, stays like 50 minutes quiet in the car. Then she pulls out her phone and she writes to James, "Hey, it's not too late. You want to come over for some drinks?"
Yeah, I think I would keep that ambiguous. And I think the last shot we're gonna end of this shot happens after downtime. You've got time to do that. Maybe it's like cut forward, but I think it's a bright sunny day. And the shot is like of the entrance to the Mutant Safe Zone, and we're kind of panning back, and suddenly squeaks into shot. It's like the wheel of a van, and it kind of pans up, and you can see it's an armored van with the logo of the Mutant Task Force on the side. And it pans up, and you see there are more vans. Just a bit more. It's like a line of them. And yeah, I think that's the shot that's going to end the session. So now we can do end of session stuff that's on the playbooks. To get your XP. And yes, I was meant to do that to clean up some of the XP stuff, because some of it is still mixed up with blade stuff. So just go to the power sheets in the drive. Yeah, I need to budget my time better. Let's see, prestige. Yeah, let's go with Mist. Let's look at your Mark XP stuff.
I think I did one desperate, so I marked it.
Yeah.
Okay. I addressed challenge through bending perception or reality.
You totally did. You totally did.
Yeah. I use my powers or actions to present my wit or beauty.
You did for a moment. I'll count that. I will totally count that.
You mean when I was trying to approach the bodyguard?
Yes.
Yeah, that was I started doing this, but then I got interrupted. I struggled with issues from traumas, heritage, or background during the session.
Yeah. You're passed with Aeon and the owl stuff. I think that counts.
I struggled with issues from traumas, heritage. Yeah.
I'd totally count that. Okay. And too thinner again. Just yours is the messiest one. I need to review this.
That's fine. So I rolled a desperate action in Sway, so that's in Resolve, and I addressed a challenge with Strength and Durability. So I will.
Yeah.
Uh,
It did.
Yep. I will mark a playbook advancement there.
Mm-hmm.
And what's the last one? Did I struggle with issues from my traumas, heritage, or
you skip
background?
one. It's you use your powers actions to defend the helpless.
I didn't do that, I don't think.
Are you sure?
I mean,
well,
the help.
Miss was fairly helpless.
Okay. I mean, I'll take it.
Look, we're only here for like 2 more sessions. Take all the XP you
take
can.
it all. Yeah. And did I express my? Well, did I struggle with my traumas, issues from my traumas, heritage, or background during the session? I'm not sure about that. I mean, I struggled with the, I narratively struggled with the ease of which he's a killing machine, basically, right?
Yeah, we've not explored that. Yeah,
no, it didn't cause any complications. So
no, in fact, it was the ease was surprising.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, I mean, that's what I'm. That's what I'm going for. Is that it's easy for him to destroy, to smash things, and that's why he likes to help build things up.
Yeah. All right. So to Hyperreal.
Okay, I rolled risky and controlled, so nothing on desperate. You addressed the challenge by sacrificing your own memories. No, you used your powers or actions to gain dangerous knowledge. Not really. You struggle with issues from your traumas, heritage, or background. If we consider the stuff with James, then yes, otherwise not.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'll consider that. There was a bit of a struggle there. Trying to convince him to do that. Yeah. Okay. So for next week, I'll give you all one more advancement, and I'll give you all one more like action dot as well, to put in anywhere. And you know what? Since we only have 2 more sessions, in fact, why not 2 action dots? You can put it anywhere, and so we can a bit more round it out. And then we'll do downtime. We shall have Slavic with us, and we'll see what he brings, and we'll see how y'all survive. Good luck with that.
So we get 2 more. We get to unlock 2 more special abilities. Is that right?
Yes, because you went for the mechanics and engineers.
Sweet. Yeah.
So I'm spoiling y'all. No, y'all went for the mechanics and engineers to get that special ability. Yeah, that's fine. So, and I'll give you an extra one because again, I was talking to Ferret that because people don't get that much advancements unless you're playing like a PBTA game where you get XP on failed rolls.
Yeah, I was looking at our masks one and I was like, oh, I'm literally at advancement time after 1 session. That's great.
Yeah. Can you believe I got 2 advancements this week? Just from rolling. So have a think about what abilities to get and 2 action dots where we put it. Again, because I want to have this on record. Again, y'all are great as always. Came with lots of cool stuff. Lots of surprising ease at bloodshed.
Yeah, you were really thrown by that, weren't you? It was more a case of, well, I can't just beat them up, or they're just gonna come back again, right? So.
Well, that and the critical and the other one. Yeah, I'll talk about it a bit of debrief, but yeah, you'll be fab as always. Anyone watching this far ahead, again, Gauntlet, link to this game as well, link to everything else. Yeah, I'll stop the broadcast now. See you all YouTube.